The story continues as Azist and her group stand in front of Pivius Tower, facing tough weather with thunder, clouds, and biting cold. They notice the clock tower and realize that if they can stop it, they will win the battle. However, a surprise attack from the north catches them off guard. They defend as best as they can, but the assault is strong, resulting in the loss of 2 group members. They admit that without Azist, they wouldn't have been able to repel such powerful strikes. Azist starts wondering who could be behind the attack, suspecting Desir of orchestrating it. The scene shifts to Desir, announcing that only 15 players remain after some eliminations. The combat intensifies, and Azist skillfully avoids a direct attack from Romantica. Romantica apologizes to Desir as her attacks are blocked. Desir mentions that it can't be helped with Azist on their side. Romantica believes that now the other teams know their location, but Desir dismisses its importance. Desir surprises Romantica by stating they need to deceive the other team. She explains that if they do that, all the teams will gather in one place, and they can eliminate them at once. She looks at Desir, who smiles, prompting Romantica to ask him to stop. Desir asks her to trust him. Romantica, initially skeptical, reluctantly agrees. She uses her magic to eliminate 2 participants. With only 13 players left, Desir unleashes his insane power. When Azist and her group open the door, they find 2 other teams. Gabriel questions if Azist's group was behind the outside attack. Donta responds, claiming they were also attacked, suggesting a possible misunderstanding. Azist asks if they have any proof, and Gabriel asserts that no one else except Azist's group could wield such high-level magic simultaneously. Azist fears they won't believe her if she reveals the beta team orchestrated the attack. She thinks this might be what Desir wants. Gabriel prepares to fight, and Donetta and Percival also take fighting positions. However, Azist asks them to stand down, mentioning she will handle it herself. This angers Gabriel, and he attacks Azist with his fire spell. Azist skillfully evades an attack and swiftly goes on the offensive. She uses her magic to trap one participant in ice and delivers a powerful kick to the other. Gabriel seeks assistance from the Pine Tree Party, emphasizing that they won't achieve individual rankings unless they defeat the Blue Moon Party immediately. The Pine Tree Party joins the attack, but Azist effortlessly handles all the participants. Meanwhile, Desir on the floor above hears the sounds of the intense battle. The fighting noises suddenly cease, leaving Romantica wondering if it's over. Desir clarifies that it's not, acknowledging their failure. He notes the absence of an announcement, and they all anxiously await the approaching footsteps. To their surprise, it's Azist, accompanied by Donta and Percival. Azist reveals that Desir's plan didn't succeed. Desir, not surprised, expected Azist's resilience. He confesses that his intention was to make the Alpha students fight among themselves. Azist explains that's why she chose to restrain them, but Desir suggests they would have been grateful if she had eliminated them. Azist opposes using such dirty tricks, urging Desir to face them directly if he truly desires to be a single ranker. Azist employs her ice magic to separate Desir from the others. Donta prevents Romantica from approaching Desir, informing her that he will be her opponent. Donta expresses surprise at their party's resilience and predicts their impending end. Percival intervenes, stopping Pram from pursuing Desir, declaring that Pram will face him. On the upper floor, Desir pretends to be defeated, but Azist sees through the act. She encourages him to get up, knowing he is only pretending. Desir responds by using the Stonebreak spell to attack Azist. However, she skillfully frees herself from the spell using her ice magic. Desir then reverses one of the ice pillars created by Azist, generating a cloud of smoke. Simultaneously, Pram engages in a fight with Percival. Percival headbutts Pram while crossing swords, intensifying their confrontation. Percival wonders if Pram has given up on using the Great Sword. Pram responds by saying that Percival talks too much. Percival becomes angry and attempts to attack Pram with multiple sword swings, but none of his attacks connect. Percival is confused about why his swordsmanship is ineffective, and he continues to attack, but Pram effortlessly dodges all the strikes. Percival wonders why his usual moves aren't working and thinks Pram seems like a completely different person. Pram surprises Percival by delivering a kick. In response, Percival asks how Pram became so strong so quickly. Pram refuses to answer, making Percival even angrier, and he wonders about Donetta's actions. Meanwhile, Donetta is engaged in a fight with Romantica. Romantica tries to attack him with wind spells, but Donetta easily deflects them. He comments on Romantica's being a level 2 mage, and Romantica realizes that she has low mana, and she is not good at close quarters combat as well. Donetta decides to end the fight, but suddenly the smoke from Desir's spell covers the area where they are. Donetta thinks the smoke might obstruct his view, but it's okay because Romantica can't see either. Wondering about Romantica's next move, Donetta is surprised when she attacks, managing to graze him. Donetta wonders how Romantica keeps finding his location, and she attacks him once again. Donetta starts thinking about how Romantica is doing this and realizes she's using the wind to track him. Romantica, determined to defeat Donetta while the mist is still present, plans her strategy. However, Donetta wears a chemiweapon and uses it to disperse the smoke. Seizing the advantage, he attacks Romantica. Donetta corners Romantica, and she questions if he's wearing an artifact. Donetta responds, claiming the item is too good for a commoner. Romantica confronts Donetta about his discrimination against commoners, asserting that in this place, whether noble or commoner, they are all students and human beings. She argues that Donetta can't change this fact by discriminating, but Donetta refuses to believe they're the same. Romantica challenges him to explain the difference, and Donetta asserts that everything is different from their status and power to talent. He insists that a commoner like Romantica shouldn't speak to him this way, believing there's no way he's the same as commoners. Donetta tells Romantica that she won't understand even if he explains and attacks her with a powerful blast spell. Romantica is severely injured, and Pram rushes to check on her. Romantica, though hurt, mentions she managed to barely guard against the attack. Donetta informs Percival that he will take on both Romantica and Pram, declaring that all commoners need to be eradicated. In response, Romantica asks Pram to hold off Donetta while she recovers her mana, and Pram prepares to face Donetta in a showdown. Donetta uses magic to trap Pram between two large stones, but Pram effortlessly cuts through them. He successfully cuts off the artifact that Donetta is wearing, injuring him in the process. Donetta is astonished that Pram had the audacity to harm him. Percival reminds Donetta that Pram is supposed to be his opponent, but Donetta dismisses him, declaring that he will handle the situation himself. Romantica checks on Pram, who assures her he's fine. Pram notes that Donetta is solely targeting Romantica, allowing him to land a hit. Romantica contemplates her options, realizing she can't beat Donetta without magic, but her current condition would only slow Pram down. Romantica asks Pram to take Percival elsewhere, stating she'll deal with Donetta alone. Pram, reading Romantica's true feelings, refuses her offer, insisting that the three of them will become single rankers together, the reason they formed the party. Pram recalls Desir's words about their strength and emphasizes their unity. Romantica, annoyed by Pram's smiling reminiscent of Desir, agrees to fight alongside him. Meanwhile, Desir faces off against Azist. Azist informs him that this time there's no goal like the entrance ceremony. They should fight to their heart's content. Azist attacks Desir with an ice spell, but he reverses it. She uses magic to walk on walls, but Desir inverts this magic as well. Azist is surprised by Desir's ability to reverse the spell. She attempts another ice spell, but Desir successfully inverts it. Desir retaliates with fire spells, but Azist defends herself using a barrier of ice. Desir is delighted to see Azist emerge unscathed and ready to fight, and Azist takes a fighting stance against Desir. This brings an end to our episode. If you enjoyed it, and then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.